Hey everybody, this is Pastor Michael at Ascension Lutheran Church in Torrance, California. It's time for another Midweek Boost. My mother has always been a fierce defender of her children. And I remember a time when I was a teenager, I needed my Volkswagen Rabbit repaired, and I told my mom about it. She said, look, just take it to the dealership. He's a friend of the owner is a friend of your father's. And when it's done, just have him send the bill to me. So I'm thinking, sounds easy enough. And so I took it in. When it was done, I told him, my mother said, just send her the bill. And the man at the register was really, really condescending and rude to me. And he said, listen, boy, that's not how we do things around here. You have to pay for services rendered at the time you pick up the vehicle. And I said, well, my mama told me to just have her billed and that she would pay it. And he said, well, you're just going to have to tell your mama to come down here and to pay the bill. And I thought, he's not going to like this. And I couldn't keep myself from smiling. I just said, okay, I'll do it. Because I knew what was about to happen. And so I told my mom what had happened and that she needed to come down and pay the bill. And when she walked in, I just backed up because, I didn't want to get in the way. And she came in and she let this guy have it. And he kept trying to defend himself, and he kept calling me boy. And she said, you stop calling him boy. His name is Michael, and he is my son. And she asked how much it was going to cost. And she took out a checkbook, and she wrote on it in really big numbers the amount, and then in the memo she put paid in full, and she slammed the check down, and we walked out. And we hadn't even walked through the door of our house when we heard the phone ringing, and sure enough, it was that guy apologizing. Apparently the owner of the shop had heard the story and immediately had this guy apologize that it went down the way it did. But that's my mother and the fierceness with which she protects her children, and still does. And it's the same way God protects his children. He protects us in the same way. He loves us. And the devil is after us and wants to bring us down into hell where he is. And because of our sin, we're headed in that direction. But God is a fierce protector of his children. And so he became a man. And he took on our sin. And in one single sacrifice, he paid in full all of our debts, once and for all. That single sacrifice has cleansed us for all time. It is a done thing. And yes, we still need to go to him and to recognize how we still sin and repent, but our salvation is accomplished. It's paid in full. One single sacrifice for all time. That's what Hebrews chapter 10 tells us. I want you to know that your God is a fierce protector of you and of your salvation, because of the love that he has for you. And he has paid the price of your sin in full. Have a great night, everybody.